Hello! Today's video is going to be a little bit of everything, but the main part of it is going to be me talking a little bit more about how and why I deal with Ani's tantrums the way that I do. I had somebody ask me some questions, so we're going to dive into that. Temper tantrums, before I get too far into it, can be different for every kid. I'm not telling you the way that I handle them is the end all be all. It is what works for us at our family. It is based off of what I know about sort of brain chemistry, brain science, emotions, de-escalation, all of that good stuff. I will say I am not perfect with this. It is much harder to do with my own child than it was to do with children I was paid with to support. It's a process. All you can do is the best you can do. If you have something that works for you, I'm not here to judge. Somebody just asked me to share a little bit more about what works for us. So the last time I talked about this, I talked about how I generally do 4 things to help Ani de-escalate when she's in the middle of a tantrum or a big emotional, experience. Basically when she's not in control of her behavior, generally due to a strong emotion. She is not even 2 yet. Obviously, little kids all the way up through young adults don't have the prefrontal cortex, which is sort of our analytic, emotional processing center of our brain. They're not as developed. And even as an adult, when I have a big emotion, I sometimes have trouble controlling myself, controlling my reaction. And if I have trouble doing that with 37 years experience, I can't really expect it from a 20-month-old. So that is something I keep in my head throughout the day. That way when these little blow-ups happen, I'm reminded that she's tiny, her brain doesn't work like my brain yet, and I shouldn't expect the same things. Generally speaking, tantruming, or what most people think of tantruming, it's just a big emotional expression. Younger kids don't have the vocabulary to express what they want, what's wrong. Kids that do have that vocabulary aren't always able to access that part of the brain. Essentially, when you're having a big, particularly negative emotion, you're working out of your amygdala, limbic system, sort of your lower brain. Some people call it like the lizard brain, more of your like primitive. And as an adult, what happens is you feel that, and generally, you're able to kick it up to your prefrontal cortex to process the emotion, to know that it's temporary, it's not going to go on forever, it's probably not as bad as you thought it was initially. And younger kids, again, all the way up through young adults, aren't able to do that physically. Their brain chemistry is not there yet. So to a toddler, when you tell them no, or they're not able to do something that they want to do, generally speaking, they're probably thinking that's forever. Even if you're telling them we're just not going to do it right now, their brain is just stuck on the we're not going to do it ever. Keeping that in mind can also help. The biggest thing to do when your child, or anybody really, is having a big emotional blow up is to stay calm yourself. So as a parent, if I'm already worked up and I see Ani is worked up, I don't jump right in. I take a second for me, I take some deep breaths, I calm myself down, and then I'm ready to support her. It is a knee-jerk reaction to want to yell or, loudly tell them to be quiet or to stop or no. Generally, that just escalates the behavior even further. So I really try for me not to do that. When I'm ready to help her, the first thing I try to do is get physically close to her, so I'm on her eye level. I try to be as calm and quiet as possible. I'm surprised at how many times when a kid is being very loud and escalated, if the adult is quiet and calm, very frequently, not always, the child will quiet down, if for nothing else, to hear what the adult is saying. And I'm not saying this is going to be instantaneous, particularly if you've never handled these sort of incidents this way with your child. It takes some time. But it will work over time. So on their level, quiet, calm, non-threatening body language, particularly if you're working with a kiddo who's had any kind of trauma in their past. And for Ani, what works is me taking deep breaths and asking her to breathe with me. Just literally, it's as easy as, let's take some breaths, and then and I really over-exaggerate what I'm doing because I want it to be easily noticeable to her. Once she's engaging in that breathing, and sometimes she does it independently, I don't even have to ask her to do it. I like that you're taking big breaths because you're frustrated. And other times I really have to walk her through the steps. But once she's done a few breaths and I can see her body calming down, so things like if she has a red face, if it's not as red, if she was making fists and they're loosened up, or if she was tense and she's loosened up, sort of those physical signs that you can see when someone's upset, when they start relaxing, that's when I jump in and validate her emotion. So obviously, like I said before, for her age, she's not saying I feel angry, I feel frustrated. So I have to kind of do my best to guess. But I just say something like, I like how you're taking deep breaths because I know that you're frustrated. And then depending on the situation, I'll either stick with that for a little while until she's more calmed down, or I'll offer choices that I am happy with. Offering kids choices gives them control. And whether you like to give choices or not is up to you. But once your children know that they're going to get choices, they're usually more willing to cooperate. And also, it means sometimes when you don't give them choices, it's not that big of a deal because generally they have that control. So with Ani, what I'll do is I'll offer 1 or 2 options of things that I'm happy to do, and generally that are calming or that will remove her from whatever situation triggered the issue in the first place. Now, as she gets a little bit older, there'll be more of like a conversational component to how I handle these behaviors, but we're not there yet. So if your kiddos are older, you're just going to start talking about, what happened, how they felt, what needs to happen to help them feel better, and then there might need to be some negotiating about that last part. If your kiddo wants ice cream and they've already brushed their teeth and are in PJs and that's not something you're willing to do, odds are that's what they think will make them feel better, so you'll have to negotiate something that will make you both happy. But that answered all the specific questions that the person had asked me. If you have more questions about how I handle tantrums, let me know. Again, I'm not trying to tell you that this is what you have to do or that it's the only way to handle this stuff. It's just how I choose to do it. But let's go to something a little less heavy. I very randomly ran to Big Lots last night and got a mini snack haul that I want to show you. I got these for Lauda. She's trying to give up Cokes, and I thought these would be a good alternative. They have less sugar than Coke. Not that they're crazy healthy, but it will help her on that quest. I got these for myself. I'd never had them before, although I've seen people get them and really like them. So I'm hoping they're good. I think they were about $1 each, maybe a little more, maybe $1.25, and I think this was $3.75. Ani has been on a freeze-dried fruit kick, so I found some that have no sugar added. It's just the freeze-dried fruit, and I want to try her on these. I'm trying to get her used to the taste of vegetables. And then these were $1 each, and these were $6.50 each, and there's 6 packs inside. So I got her a strawberry one and a banana one. And these will just be sometimes treats. I don't give her freeze-dried fruit every day, but she really likes fruit. That's an easy, crunchy snack, and I'd rather give her that than crackers. All right, well, it is about 9 o'clock. This is when I generally have my caffeine. I'm going to go ahead and have this one. It is the Sparkling Ice Strawberry Citrus. That's good. It has more strawberry flavor than I was expecting. I should say these are 16-ounce cans. They have 70 milligrams. Forget what it's measured in. Yeah, 70 milligrams of caffeine. That's less than 1 cup of coffee. I think an 8-ounce cup of coffee has like 80 or 90 milligrams of caffeine. So as far as caffeine goes, it's not incredibly high. If you didn't know, I'm working on cutting diet soda, specifically soda with caffeine. It's the only way I get caffeine. I've gone long periods before without needing caffeine, and then I always fall back into this pattern of all of a sudden I'm like dependent on it multiple times a day. So that will be my soda for today, and hopefully it's enough to keep me going with this little busybody. Ooh, what are you doing? Green. Good job. Where's red? Red. Y'all, these things are the best. They are National Geographic Kids Balance Stepping Stones. They come with a pack of 5. They're kind of pricey. We used some Christmas money from my grandparents to get them for Ani, but they're like a firm, squishy kind of material. And they have been great for indoor gross motor activities during the winter months. My only complaint is I really wish there was 6 and that there was an orange one. That's just personal preference. Ani's really into colors. Can you go get the blue one? Where's blue? But yeah, I really wish that there were 6. 5 is great. We use them in all kinds of different ways. I'll line them up and she'll practice walking from one to the next one, and that's good balance. And then the other thing that we'll do is I'll take them in the hallway and scatter them out, and we run from color to color. She likes to stack them up and have me try to balance them on my head. We do so many things. We lay them out on the ground and then color sort her toys on top of them. Ooh, yellow. Where is yellow? Amarillo. Bien hecho, bebé. Get another one. Oh, good job. Amarillo. ¿Dónde está el color amarillo? Good job. Yellow, yellow. Morado. Purple. Good job. And I make sure again to spread things out so she's walking and running all around. But if you're in the market for something easy and that's relatively small for a gross motor activity inside, highly recommend these. And if you have an older toddler, you can very easily do jumping activities, like jumping from one to the next. But they're great. I love them. They've held up really well, even though they are that sort of squishy foam material. But yeah, we've just really been liking them. But with that, I think we're going to sign off and maybe go do some marble run. You want to play with your marbles?
Bye-bye.
Marbles. Okay, let's say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Girl, you got toothpaste all over your sweatshirt. Say mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Bye.